right, yeah, show me the spot.
In,
all right.
Well, this is my drag room. There's a lot going on here.
Show me the highlights. What are the highlights?
Some cosplay, Sailor Moon.
Okay, that is...
Jupiter.
Jupiter. There we go. I was going to say, that's not Moon, that's Jupiter.
Yes,
okay.
Jupiter's a little butch, so that's why I like her.
All right.
If you know the drag scene in San Antonio, then you know who this is. On any other night, Queen Fantasia might be getting ready for a performance or a karaoke night.
And this is my good old mirror that I stand in when am I ready to go?
But tonight, they're getting ready for something else. A group designated by the FBI as an extremist militia is coming to town to protest a drag show, and Fantasia wants a community to come out to face them. Over the past few months, armed right-wing groups have repeatedly gathered outside drag events, and some venues that hosted shows have been attacked. It's the logical extension of a conspiracy theory that drag shows are some sort of LGBT plot to sexually abuse children. It's now getting airtime on mainstream news channels.
The end goal is the normalization of pedophilia.
Things are tense in San Antonio because of this undercover footage from a local drag show, selectively edited by right-wing activists to make it look like a young girl was left unattended and being abused. This was a lie. The girl's mother was there, working as a food vendor, but the facts didn't matter. The video went viral, and the club canceled all future drag shows.
When you ask somebody, what is it specifically that you have against drag shows existing? It's, well, we got to protect the kids.
Right.
How do you respond to that?
This is where parenting comes in. You have to choose what your child is ready to be exposed to. I would not take my child to Hooters or to Twin Peaks or to things like that because I see that as kind of sexual. A drag queen is usually more covered up than we think because, one, let me show you something. These pads are what goes underneath 5 layers of tights. Girl, I'm not naked. So we are much more covered than most people think that we are. We are not out here just going to schools and bringing a pole and dancing around in a 2-piece. There's just so many other things I could think of that are more harmful to our society and to our children growing up in that society than drag. You know, you outside of a drag show with a gun is not going to help that child.
When we were talking before I came out here, you were telling me that there was a possibility that some of y'all might be coming with guns.
Yeah.
Is that happening tonight?
Everyone's kind of scared about guns being involved in any kind of way, which I don't like guns at all, but it's like we have lost the patience to continue to play the game like they want us to play the game. You are telling us that you're going to come to yet another safe space, which is a drag show, and bring something to assault. We have to bring something to protect. Oh yeah, we're going downtown.
We're here in front of the Aztec Theater where they're having a drag show in here tonight. And there's some protesters who showed up across the street and they're saying that they're here to protest against pedophiles and child grooming and stuff like that. And then of course there's a bunch of people over here. It's a good 400 people partying, holding signs, and they are not having it.
Share some pride. Are y'all feeling prideful? So let's show them what a drag show feels like, honey. Super bass.
This one is for the boys with the booming system. Top down AC with the cooling system. When they come up in the club, he be blazing up. That's stacks on that, like you said, and
Even among the party atmosphere, it was hard not to notice that a lot of the crowd did bring their guns.
I got my side piece, I got my AR.
Okay.
I got the SKS.
Y'all came ready?
With no intention to use them. You're not gonna fearmonger us because you have weapons.
I feel like they like to show up at events with guns to intimidate people. They're using terror for political gains. They're trying to incite people like the Colorado shooter to go kill us at our safe spaces.
Do you think people over here felt more comfortable knowing that there were people like y'all who were armed?
Yes, 100%. The entertainers feel safer with people who are on their side coming armed because they knew they would be.
I didn't want to give the wrong message, of course, but it's true though. Like, if they're gonna come with guns, then we should come with guns too.
Everybody loves their guns here, even the gays.
Black queer lives are under attack. What do we do? What do we do?
Things did get tense out there, but there wasn't any real violence. Afterwards, Fantasia and some friends went back to a club they usually go to talk.
The amount of guns.
was crazy.
Did you see the guy with the shotgun?
I saw 4 ARs.
I know. I'm like, why do you have that? It's not necessary.
How did it feel for y'all being out there?
I feel really good about what we did.
Like what happened with Club Q in Colorado, I was just very scared. I saw guys with shotguns and handguns. I mean, on both sides, but still, it made me very uneasy.
This is something that's happening all over the U.S. right now, increasingly, more and more and more. This probably won't be the last time that somebody comes and protests a drag event in San Antonio.
Right, yeah.
What's next?
We're just going to continue. I mean, especially with the group that we've created for the protests, because there are people who will mobilize. As we saw today, there are people who will mobilize. We just have to know how to get the word out, how to continue the momentum, because they're not going to stop. But we're not going to stop either. I'm not worried about that. So.
You're a performer, right? You're an artist, but then every time you're doing your performance, every time you're doing your art, is like you say, it becomes political immediately, even if you don't want it to be, because somebody else will view it as such.
Drag is politics. I'm a political drag queen. So we all are. You have to embrace that. You have to be ready to combat the ignorance and combat the legislation sometimes. You have to be the leaders of the community. If you're going to be the star of the community, you need to also understand that that comes with a heavy weight. You got a crown on your head as a queen. Okay, you gotta bear the weight of that crown. What does that mean? How are we helping our society, our community? I was out there for Black Lives Matter, and now I'm out here for Gay Lives Matter, the sequel.
Look, just to go to something that you and I have in common, right? There was a point at which a lot of people got very comfortable thinking of Black people as victims. I would argue that that still exists. They're cool when Black people are victims. I think that when Black people decide they want to fight back, a lot of people who consider themselves to be moderate, reasonable, in the middle, get very uncomfortable. And on the same token, I think there are a lot of people who have gotten used to thinking of LGBTQ people as victims. They're comfortable that way.
Right.
But then if those same people start fighting back, bringing guns to a counter-protest, that support, that comfort goes away. You stepping right into that.
We lose the sympathy vote.
You lose the sympathy.
Right. Which I think was a lot of the concern of a lot of the people who were saying that we should not be bringing guns. But is that what it has to take for people to understand what we're going through? I want to believe that we've progressed a little bit further than that we don't have to rely on someone getting hurt or someone getting killed or someone, threatening us for people to listen.
I'm Michael Learmonth, editor-in-chief of Vice News. Too often, traditional news outlets shy away from the real stories and experiences of those living through global conflicts. Not Vice News. Our reporters are on the ground, fearlessly covering the human stories that shape our world. You and millions of others can continue to read, watch, and listen to Vice News for free. But we hope you'll consider making a one-time or ongoing contribution of any size at vice.com/contribute. Every contribution, no matter how big or small, helps support the journalism Vice News brings to you every day. Thank you.